Hold on a second. I just want to, for my records, I don't have too many of these. They actually do know each other.
I think you are the proof of that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll take this DNA test and find out.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. If you've ever seen United Shades of America, you know I do a lot of traveling trying to understand this confused and confusing country of ours. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but I did not. But this time, I thought I'd try to understand myself and ask, hey, myself, where are you from? And if I think about it, it's simple. I'm from these two people. My mom, Janet Cheatham Bell, and my dad, Walter A. Bell. The A stands for awesome. They gave me their DNA by having sex. And I gave my DNA to the good folks at Ancestry to see what they could find by spitting in a tube. Spit to the wavy line. Clearly, my parents had more fun the way they did it. Locally sourced, organic, tongue-to-table, farm-fresh spittle.
Ta-da!
To find out more about my family history, I brought my parents back to the Bay Area where I was born, which is way harder than it sounds. See, my parents were never married to each other. They split up when I was a toddler. And they haven't sat down together since my wedding 9 years ago. So for me, this is pretty, well, weird, actually. I have no idea what to expect.
You know, Kamau
Look
thinks...
nice and stop talking.
Do you think I came up with the idea of naming him Walter?
I think so. What's so funny?
We were gonna go, but then Melissa got herself pregnant, so.
All by herself, huh?
Oh, look at that, look at that.
You just love that.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So tell me what you think about this, me taking this test, finding out about our history and our people.
One thing, I'll be looking forward to finding out for sure whether or not there really is Native American ancestry there, since my grandfather claims that his father was.
Yeah, people say that every African American thinks there's Native American in them, and everybody thinks it's Cherokee. That's the tribe that everybody thinks they're from. So
I mean, it's what you are culturally anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
And in the end, what does it matter? You are what you are.
Exactly.
I mean, you really are, and you can't change whatever happened back there.
Nope.
And if there's an axe murder back there, what are you going to do about it? now you got a depression going on forever, you know? Oh, my God.
My dad's exaggerating. We didn't come from axe murderers. At least I don't think we did. But I do know that we came from slavery. And what's the point of digging into that? Well, whether I want to or not, it's not even entirely up to me.
Definitely a joint decision, as are most things in this arrangement.
I feel like we talked about this at some point, and your response was, you know, for the girls.
You know, you're winning. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That the girls should know where they come from.
Yeah, I feel like if the knowledge is available, why wouldn't we, right?
Look at you.
I know. Look at the big old belly under
Look at me.
here. I think especially since we're like waiting on this new one to come along, it's, you know, on my mind.
See those adorable faceless blerds that I'm not showing because the internet is a horrible place? Those are my kids.
I think Kamau and I are both aware that our daughters being mixed race means that their experience in the world is going to be significantly different from ours, and that as they get older, it's going to be a lot more nuanced and complicated for them, and I think having this knowledge may just sort of round out how they see themselves in the world.
So what do we know? Or what do we think we know? Mom?
We don't know back very far. On my mother's side, her grandfather, John Wesley Johnson, owned property, which, like I say, was a major deal.
Well, what do you hope to find out from this DNA test?
Wouldn't it be funny if we found out that Walter and I were related?
Why would that be where you'd go?
I just had that thought. Even if we're first cousins, you turned out okay.
Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for the internet to know all that.
I'm just curious if they're really able to find out anything beyond my grandfather. And if they are, I'll be shocked.
Okay. On my dad's side of the family, we know a little more. Recently, for an episode of United Shades of America, we visited the land in Alabama where my dad was born and where his side of the family lived for generations.
You know, the family's been here since slavery days. And they started their own cemetery. And so this is Frances here, who was born in 1844, but had her kids by a slave master, the name of Dockery. And so that's kind of where the family started from.
So how come our name isn't Dockery?
Well, because, you know, they didn't give the names always of the slave master.
Yeah.
Says that I'm sure he had a wife.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it is for many African Americans, it only takes 3 or 4 steps to get back to slavery. And because of that, most of us can't trace ourselves back that far. No birth certificates, no wedding invitations, no deeds to land. None of the things that white Americans can use to trace their lineage back.
We always have had a history, probably because the land has always been there to keep everybody together. Mm-hmm. And so you get that verbal passing from one generation to the next of who's this and who's that.
What are you most looking forward to about finding out when they present it to me?
I have no expectations.
Okay.
In terms of what it is. I mean, it's whatever it is, it is.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure some of these stories are not going to be pretty, but it's good to know the story.
Well, I don't see any pretty or ugly.
Yeah.
I just see fact.
Yes, exactly. And to provide those facts, Ancestry's Jennifer Utley, who I'm pretty sure has been told not to laugh at anything I say. I accept the challenge.
So you took the Ancestry DNA test.
Yes.
What do you think you're going to find?
There's a lot of this happening in Alabama. It was the South. It was the era of slavery. So it's just, I just know that there's a lot of probably European ancestry in me. And then my mom says that she has been led to believe by her family that there's a lot of native blood, specifically Cherokee.
So tell me about your name and where it came from.
All my life I've known that my name was East African. Kamau means quiet warrior, which is from Kenya. But I never thought that I was, because as being someone who is of American slave stock, shall we say, I can say that. I know that's West Africa. So.
Right. Can we check it out?
Let's do it.
So we go into ancestry.com.
Okay. 21% Ivory Coast and Ghana, 13% Africa, Southeastern Bantu. Oh, from way South Africa, or from like East. Oh, a little bit of East.
A little bit of East.
A little bit of Kenya's in there. So we could be we got a little bit of Kenya. Just enough so Kenyans will accept me. All right. 13% Great Britain. Oh, I'm only 13% white. Okay. Oh wait, that's just Great Britain. There's more. Okay.
Keep going.
Whoa! Less than 1% Native American. What happened to all that full-blooded Cherokee? Wow. Well, there goes that family legend. And again, super happy I never tried to apply for college with that box checked.
Let's jump over to your tree. Ready?
All right.
In this generation, you guys only have 3 people. You have 2 people mentioned by name. This is the African American brick wall.
Yeah.
This is the one where everyone thinks it's impossible to get by. So how awesome would it be if we could go from 2 names to 8?
That'd be pretty cool. Is this like a game show? That'd be pretty cool.
I think what we need to do is go to Tennessee and see what we can find and see if we can
complete the 8 names challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Should we switch over to Dad's side?
That's Dad's side. I know they know a lot more. So my grandfather's parents are Charles Bell and Cora McCants.
So one little thing that I can tell you right now is I know the name of Cora's father.
Okay. Who's that?
His name is Reason.
Reason McCants.
Reason McCants.
That's a great name.
It is. I think it would be fun to go down to Alabama and do some research and see what we can dig up about Reason.
Okay. All right.
Let's talk a little bit about Lloyd and Frances. So let's see what she's doing in 1900. So here she is listed in the 1900 United States Federal Census.
Number of born children, 13.
13.
Number of children living at that point, 7.
So she had outlived 6 of her children.
Wow. It's a hard time back then. She owns her house.
It is mortgaged.
Good for Frances Bell. Got a mortgage on that house.
So we've been looking into Frances and her relationship with Mr. Dockery, right? And you guys know him as Lloyd.
Lloyd, yes.
But everywhere we find him in the records, he's very clearly Carol.
Carol.
And there's a few things that we were able to learn about him.
All right, let's do this.
First of all, it's very clear that Carol at no point owned Frances.
That's okay. So this was not a relationship of a slave owner and an enslaved person?
No, and as far as we can tell, it looks like he never was a slave owner of any kind.
Oh, really? Really? He was just some dude? Just some dude in the world who had a liking for Francis Bell? That's so interesting. So do we know anything else about him?
I think we can figure it out.
All right.
So that's where the journey's taking you.
All right.
Let's go to Alabama.
Alabama, once again. I've been to Alabama a lot in the last couple of years. It's like The Godfather 3. They drag me back in. Seems like a good place to end. Jennifer laughed, and if we leave now, we have 2 cliffhangers. See you in Tennessee and Alabama, y'all. Next on Finding Kamau. Some of this.
Really?
A whole lot of this.
Wow.
But none of this. We need a splash guard for you.